Please, everyone share this video. We need to let more people know exactly what's going on with this new tax plan.
It's a young samurai, I smoke a spliff in the cup, and I pass a line to my bro. No fuck with my flow. Couple bad bitches and a cup of that tro. So it's just THC.
Hey Donald Trump, I'm showing my tax returns. Why don't you show me yours? My name is Eric Schoenberg. I'm a member of the Patriotic Millionaires, a group of wealthy Americans deeply concerned about our country's growing concentration of wealth and power. And since this crazy tax bill Congress is considering is a perfect demonstration of how the wealthy use their power to bend the rules in their favor, I feel compelled to do a crazy thing myself. I'm going to share with you my own 2015 tax return so that you can see exactly why the Republican plan will make the rich richer and leave everybody else to pick up the bill. In 2015, my wife and I had an adjusted gross income of $1.3 million, on which we paid total income tax of $325,000, or just under 25%. Now, you might think this tax rate is low for $1 million plus income, and I would agree, but that's because the system is already biased in favor of rich people by taxing investment income at lower rates than labor income. For example, line 7 of my return shows that my wife and I were paid just over $35,000 for teaching various university classes. For most Americans, wages, salary, and tips covers the vast majority of their income. But for us, that amount is small relative to our income from investments. For example, line 9 shows that we had $203,000 in dividends, and line 13 shows that we had $315,000 in capital gains. And here's the thing. Salaries and wages face a top income tax rate of about 40%, but dividends and capital gains face a top rate of only 24%. That means that a lawyer or athlete who had a salary that matched my income in 2015 and had the exact same level of deductions would have paid almost $40,000 more in tax than I did. Think about that. For two people with the exact same income, the person who is already rich pays less tax than the one who isn't. The bipartisan tax reform of 1987 briefly eliminated this difference. But this Republican bill would make the problem much worse by also lowering the rate on pass-through business income, which is included in line 17. I had $705,000 of this in 2015. While Republican spin has been that rich people will pay more under their plan because of the elimination of deductions, I estimate that our tax bill would have been over $100,000 less under their plan, saving over 30% of my taxes. Imagine the billions this will save the Koch brothers, or Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, or Donald Trump. He claims this bill will cost him a fortune.
This is going to cost me a fortune, this thing, believe me.
I claim that tax reform is his greatest con ever, allowing Trump to turn a $50 million investment in his campaign into billions in tax savings. And if he wants to prove me wrong, all he needs to do is release his tax returns, like me. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm all in favor of tax reform, tax simplification, and tax fairness. But this bill is none of the above. It's just a big tax cut for rich people like me.
BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Hey, before this video even continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, so I get it. I understand. There's a large contingency of Americans that prefer for the government to not be in our business. You know, I don't want the government in my business, taking all our jobs. I get it. I understand. But on the flip side, when you appoint a man or a woman or even a plant to be the ruler or the president of said country, and this person's affiliations as far as their life when it is not involved in, government matters, revolves around establishing business relationships rather than, I don't know, governing. There tends to be a bias. And in this specific case, the bias is to make sure that even after this individual is not in office any further, they can still reap the rewards. Or should I say, them and their friends. That's what has just happened. Until there's another president in office, or until we have a Congress that is not going to acquiesce to the demands of this specific individual or their affiliations, middle class and lower will foot the bill for the country, while the top 1% gets to keep the majority of their earnings, or the majority of the money that they had make off of other people working for them. This is the country that we currently live in because it was just time. I mean, let's be perfectly fair and honest. We don't get Obama if we don't get the second George Bush. If the towers don't fall, if he doesn't lose to Al Gore but win, we don't get Obama. There aren't enough people up in arms. There aren't enough people angry at the direction in which we were going in. Unless those things and a couple of other things also happen. It was a perfect storm. Remember, Hillary thought it was her time. With that being said, we don't get our current president business. If not for, well, be perfectly honest with you, I think Bernie Sanders could have beaten him. But that's a discussion for a different day. But we don't get our current president, if not for the fact that we had Obama. And there were plenty of people who disliked Obama, but I don't think they necessarily disliked him for the right reasons. Now, did Obama do things that I did not like? Sure, he did tons of things that I did not agree with. Every president does things that you do agree with and does things that you don't agree with. Every president. I might have to take that back because I haven't seen this current president do anything that I do agree with. But, it's still early. Things might change. But there was a perfect storm. There was a situation where we had a large portion of the country, and I'm not saying that these people were necessarily racist. I'm just saying a large portion of the country that didn't like our previous president, 44. So they came out like gangbusters when it was time to vote. And when they voted understanding that they wanted someone to be in the presidency that looked like them. That supposedly was not part of the machine that is American politics. But you see, this is what they fail to realize. They voted for a man who buys politicians. So, if you have a greedy government who can be bought, it doesn't make sense to then elect a person as president over all of the politicians in which you're complaining about because they're so easily bought, who is an individual that is usually looking for a politician to buy. It just doesn't make sense. But this is in effect what was done. That's why you see all of the policies that we're currently getting Because most of these policies have really nothing to do with what the American people necessarily need. Think about it. When you're a child and you have the option of having pizza 3 times a week for dinner, you're probably going to jump on board. But your parents, knowing better, understanding better, and realizing, you know what? You can't eat pizza all the damn time, kid. Feed you some vegetables every now and then. Make sure that you eat a relatively balanced meal, depending on whatever your economic capabilities are. That doesn't make them bad parents. That just makes them responsible. So when you hire somebody into the presidency that says, I'm going to let you eat pizza every meal of every day, that's not very responsible. And in effect, that's what we've done. Well, not me. I didn't vote for him, but that what was done. And currently he is our president, whether you like him or not. I say all that to say this. When 2020 comes and the ramifications of what these bills that was just signed into law actually starts to, it's fermented long enough. It's, sat long enough for it to be, it gestated long enough for us to be able to see what the ramifications of some of these bills that were signed is going to turn into and do. Because for everybody that doesn't know, a law or a bill was signed into effect, right? First of all, when it's signed into effect, most laws and bills don't take effect immediately. Usually it's after a certain amount of time, because you gotta prepare for the, whatever the agency is that got to take care of it to be able to take care of it, or you have to prepare for just the people to be able to be ready, and you give it a little bit of time. So a bill isn't signed usually and then tomorrow it comes into effect. That's just not the way it works, and it has to go through court and everything else. Okay, so that's just not the way it works, even though I do understand that some people believe that, because if you're giving the current president business any credit for the positive steps that the economy has taken over the last year, then you know nothing about politics, or you're just you know nothing about how bills and laws work, or you're just trying to fool the people who don't know anything about how bills and laws work. That's not how it works. Our current, and it's not even an economic boom any further, because we were doing pretty well until Trump came and did a couple of things, and it started slowing down our development. But in about 2020, we're really going to be seeing what's going to happen. When your taxes come back and you're complaining about your taxes and you hate the government again, you hate all these people that you elected. Think about it like this. The poorest, or the most downtroddenness, or the states with the worst economy are all red states. People make jokes about how the Democrats steal money, which they do, allegedly, okay? The Democrats are always getting in trouble for stealing money. This is facts. And the Republicans are always getting in trouble for selling their votes. This is facts. But the Democrats actually raise money and give some of those monies to the communities. I don't really see the Republicans raising money for anybody other than rich people. I'm not trying to speak positively about neither one of these people. I'm just telling you what it is. They're two sides of the same coin. If the coin's on one side too long, there's a problem. But right now we have a man, or a person has been elected into office where them being in office is probably worse than we all might think. Anyway, a little bit stuff about the taxes I wanted y'all to know and just give y'all my opinion on this. 2020 is going to be a lot of Democrats. It's going to be taking a lot of seats. The Republicans are going to be hurt. The Republicans know it, but the Republicans have to stand by their president. And that's just what it is. Dude just tried to, oh man, I got to do something on this too. Dude just tried to get somebody put into, make somebody a judge for life who knows nothing about being a judge. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, let me know y'all feelings on this. Anybody that made it to the end of this video, please hashtag Bronx Bombers. Yeah, look, I love y'all. Please, when you go out there and you vote, next time you vote, I'm not saying vote on party lines. If you're a Republican, you think a Democrat's the better person to vote, vote Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you think a Republican is the best person to vote for, vote Republican. But please, use your common sense. Don't vote for somebody just because they're spewing propaganda. Don't vote for somebody because of the hate speech. America has not ever been great since it's been what we know as the US of A. It has not. Okay? It has flourished financially, yes, but it's never been great. It's never been great. The idea of America has always been great. But the actual application hasn't. And that's okay. Because then that means that there's something to strive for. That means that there's an eyes at the end of this golden road. Anyway, that's all I got on this one. I love y'all. Keep each other safe. And please feed your kids more than pizza. Pizza like 3 times a week is way too much. Pizza 2 times a week is way too much, to be honest with you. Pizza once a week might be too much. Like, pizza's not a food that you eat once a week. I just want to make that clear. Anyway, I'm out. I love y'all. Keep each other safe. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.